They say the cruelest knives don't leave scars on the skin. They slice you open in public, in front of strangers, when you least expect it. That night, over candlelight and overpriced wine, the woman I thought I loved looked me dead in the eye and told me I wasn't enough. Not as a man, not as a provider, not even as a partner. And she made sure everyone at that table heard it. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I smiled, put down my fork, and decided to end the meal, end the relationship, right there. But what happened afterward, what happened when she came crawling back? That's the part you won't see coming. I should have known the cracks were already forming. Her name was Clara. We'd been together nearly a year. At first, she was sweet, supportive, even proud of the business I'd built from scratch. I was 25, running my own plumbing company, booked months in advance, pulling in six figures. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work, the kind that keeps roofs over people's heads and water running through their pipes. But then Clara got that new job, manager at some designer boutique downtown. Suddenly, her world was shiny floors, luxury handbags, and coworkers who measured worth by brand names and condo views. And slowly, she started looking at me differently. It wasn't about what I earned, it was about the image. She hated saying, "My boyfriend's a plumber." It embarrassed her, even though the house we lived in was mine, bought outright. No mortgage, no debt. But to her, it wasn't impressive. The breaking point came one Saturday night. Clara dragged me to a fancy restaurant to meet her friends and their boyfriends, guys in pressed button-downs, sipping wine like they were auditioning for a commercial. Corporate finance. Digital marketing. They wore their titles like armor. When it came time for Clara to introduce me, she hesitated. "This is
Ellie."
He owns a maintenance company. Maintenance company. As if saying plumber out loud might stain the linen tablecloth. The rest of dinner was torture. Her friends bragged about Bermuda getaways, Napa wine tours. Clara joined in, smiling at their stories, then turned to me. "See? That's what I mean. Real dates. Real vacations. Not camping trips and concerts." I tried to stay calm. But then, she crossed the line. She leaned back in her chair, looked straight at me, and said, loud enough for the whole table to hear, "Eli, you can't even satisfy me, let alone provide for me." The table went silent. My chest burned, but my face, I kept smiling. I asked the waiter for the check, laid down $40 for my portion, and stood up. "Good luck paying for the rest," I said and walked out. Clara texted me all night, apologies, excuses, begging to come home. But I'd already made up my mind. Because the truth is, I'd met someone else by accident just days later. An old friend, Maya, who didn't care about designer labels or job titles. She looked at me and saw more than the dirt on my boots. She saw someone who built something real, who provided, who worked with his hands and his heart. So when Clara showed up a week later with 2 suitcases and tears streaming down her face, saying she wanted to fix things, she didn't expect to see Maya opening my front door with takeout and a smile. Clara froze. "Who's that?" I looked her in the eyes. "That's Maya, my girlfriend." And just like that, the power shifted. Clara left that night, dragging her luggage back to the life she'd chosen, one built on appearances, not substance. Last I heard, she's living with her parents again, because the image she worshipped couldn't pay her rent. And me? I'm with someone who values what I've built. Someone who calls me successful not because of the suit I wear, but because of the life I've created. Here's what I learned. People who care about image will always betray substance. But sometimes, the best revenge isn't anger, it's happiness. So tell me, have you ever had someone underestimate you until it was too late? Drop your story in the comments. And if you stuck with me this far, hit that like button. It lets me know you're part of the family.